up, guys? Welcome back to Man Cave Collectibles, coming at you today with another figure review. So today we're going to take a look at the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles April O'Neil versus Foot Soldier, the Bash version. This is a figure I picked up on a recent toy hunt, so if you have not checked out that toy hunt video, go ahead and do that. I'll try to throw a link up above to that. But yeah, we found this guy. There is a little story about finding this guy. We were in our one of our local Targets and went over to the Neca section. They had no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, so we kind of were giving up, walking by, which you can see all this in the toy hunt video. We're going by the electronics checkout counter, and I happened to glance over and notice this box sitting behind the counter. So I asked the guy, hey, can I buy this 2-pack? And he said, absolutely. He said, we keep these behind the counter to try to combat the scalper issue that we've been having. He said they would take, of these turtle 2-packs. As we all know, they're very hot, they're hard to get. Big issue with scalpers and bots buying them up on the pre-orders before people can get to them. So he said, we would put 5 or 6 of these out in the morning, and by 7 a.m. one guy would come in and purchase all of them. So they're keeping them behind the counter to try to control some of that and limit the number that folks can buy. So I didn't ask him what the maximum per person was, since I was just buying the one. But anyways, just something to think about. You may want to make sure you get in the habit of asking the folks there in the electronics section if maybe they have them behind the counter, or maybe even keeping them in the back. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Now let's jumping right on into our review. We got what we're pretty used to seeing as far as this Neca cartoon line. The box is the same. We get kind of some cartoon drawings there on the box that I'm aware of. Those are not exactly accurate to the cartoon. They're pretty close, but they're not exactly accurate to the cartoon. We get just our kind of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo there. April O'Neil Foot Soldier across the top. Nice logo on the top. Product shot here on the side of April with her microphone. Product shot of our bashed Foot Soldier. And as we flip to the back, product shots there of April and the Foot Soldier, as well as some of the more recent 2-packs, and then Bebop and Rocksteady, who's actually up for pre-order right now. So if you're interested in getting those guys, now would be the time. We got a little bit of a write-up here. This write-up is actually on the Turtles, not on April or the Foot Soldier. So it would be kind of cool if they did a write-up on the actual, characters in the box, but I'm starting to think maybe this is just kind of a standard write-up that they're putting on all these 2-packs. Let's go ahead and break these guys out of their packaging and see what we got. All right, guys. Got our figures out of the package and onto our review table. Really nice looking detail here that Neca has done. I feel like it's pretty comic book accurate. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at April and her accessories first. We'll put this guy back. Now, one thing I will go ahead and bring up right off the bat is April has some very small feet. So as far as getting her posed and balanced, not the easiest thing to do. So we may run into her falling over throughout this process. But let's go into her accessories first off. So we get her Channel 6 camera. So I'm interested to see if when we get the Vern figure, we're getting Vern, her cameraman, if he will get this same camera when he drops. But really nice detail here on this camera. Got a little bit of articulation here with the handle on the camera. That can be just positioned, however you need it in order for her to be able to hold it. But really nice looking detail there on that. And then we also get her recorder here, which does have a microphone attached, and that just can throw right over her shoulder, and she can hold the microphone with one of the spare hands that I'll show you here in just a moment. So that looks really nice. Got some nice paint detail. Got her Channel 6 logo there on the side of the microphone, and then a little bit of paint detail, a little bit of black accent here on this. Looks really nice. She does get one additional microphone. This one has no cord connected, but is identical to the one with the cord connected to it. Just looks really nice. We get the turtle communicator here that she would use to communicate with the turtles. Kind of disguised as a kind of a makeup. Well, looks like mine already has a little bit of an issue there. See if we can get that to pop back on. Yeah, it's just held on by two little hinges there, so it's not necessarily broken, but it's not a very strong hold there on those hinges either. But it does have a little bit of detail there in the paint. A little QC issue there on mine probably, but it looks good. And then she comes with two additional hands, and these would be the hands that she would use to hold either the camera or the microphones. And they're just basically holding hands for that. And the two hands that are actually on her there, you can see, are just your kind of straight relaxed hands, I guess you could say. Now, we also get the Maltese hamster, and this can kind of be for the foot soldier or for her, but really she was the main character in the movie in regards to the Maltese hamster. She spotted this guy in like a pawn shop window, went in and bought it for 10 bucks. Turned out that there was a scientist who was working on kind of a super fuel, and he died, unfortunately, the day he created his super fuel, but he had put the recipe for that inside this Maltese hamster, and April O'Neil bought it. Well, obviously Shredder wanted to get his hands on it, and April had it. So chaos ensued. The turtles got taken kind of hostage, and they ended up having to try to use this to bargain to get them back. So yeah, just a neat little thing. It was pretty much just kind of a one-shot episode. I believe it was in season 3 that occurred, but pretty cool for Neca to throw that in. Now, going on into April herself, let's go ahead and look at some details. So I've heard some folks and other reviewers kind of talk about maybe the size of the head for April, but you know, yes, it is a little big, but it has that cartoony look. And you know, I'll throw up an image here of April from the cartoon, and you know, you can decide for yourself. I don't feel like it's so big that it just looks bad. I don't. I think they did a good job on this. Let's go ahead and just look at some of the detail here on her. You can see they did a good job with these black and darker color yellow accents to add there to her suit. You got some of her accessories there hanging off her belt. Looks pretty good. She got her watch on there. Let's see, the watch is part of the articulation of the hand. So as you turn the hand, that watch will spin with the hand. So that's pretty cool. It's not molded into the forearm. In fact, the watch is actually, let's see here. Yeah, the watch is actually not molded into anything. It'll actually come off. So I guess if you didn't want the watch, you could get rid of it. But it's just basically held on by having this hand into the articulation. We'll go ahead and swap out hands while we're doing that. We'll put the holding hand there. And as we move down, so probably the only gripe I would have, and it's probably fairly accurate because they want to have, you know, everything, you know, kind of the way it would look in the cartoon, but these feet are very small. They're very flat on the bottom, which is good, but they're extremely small, and you know, it makes it a little on the tougher side to get her to stand without feeling wobbly, or like, you know, the least little bit of anything would flip her over. Looking at her articulation, she can look down that much. She can only look about straight ahead, but we do get a full 360 there on that neck joint. As far as her arms, we can get them up to about right there and down. We don't have any bicep swivel. We do have, however, what looks to be double jointed elbows. Yes, we do have a double jointed elbow there, so you can see and get that up real nice. The second joint is actually kind of hidden in the jacket there, so that looks really good. It's not hindered by the jacket very much, but it is in there. Now, here's one thing, and you can see as I articulated that elbow, we scratched off the yellow paint there in that joint. And this is something that I'm starting to notice a lot of with Neca. My Leatherhead figure had it. Yesterday I reviewed a King Kong figure that had it on the ankle articulation. So that's something Neca is going to have to work on, is as we articulate our joints, we shouldn't be losing paint. So definitely something for Neca to think about. Now, looking here, we do have a little chest articulation, not a whole lot. She's not able to get over very much, not able to get back very much, but it's enough. Again, we're not going to be doing a ton of dynamic posing with April. She can get that full 360 swivel there if we want that. Nothing in the waist here. It's just right there below the chest area. As far as the legs, we can get out to there. You can slightly swivel that leg there at the hip. We do get double jointed knees here for April. So you can get that all the way up to her backside. Looks good. And then in the ankle, we get ankle articulation as we typically would. So we can get way back and get forward. And as I'm doing that, you can see the chips of paint coming off on my finger. And we do get side to side ankle articulation there. So yeah, it looks good. You can see there that we're starting to get some yellow showing through as we're articulating that. The white paint is coming off in the ankle area. So yeah, I mean, that's an issue, and I hope that Neca is able to resolve that. You know, over time, as we have these figures and we pose them and articulate them, you know, we don't want to be losing our paint as we go. Now, as we get on over the foot soldier, I'm not going to cover this guy in depth because we have covered many of these foot soldiers, and their articulation is identical. Their sculpts are identical. The paint is identical. But on this one, we do have a little bit of battle damage, which looks really nice. Now, you can't really get into that any more than what I have here, but you can see that he has been, you know, bashed and has that battle damage. So you can kind of see some of his internals there. And it looks really good. It's painted well. Kind of got a little bit of a, kind of like a power cord hanging out here. It doesn't have any type of damage along the back. It's just there in the front. We will talk about the accessories that he comes with, however. So these are the same accessories for the most part that we saw with the Casey Jones Foot Soldier 2-pack. So we get the same gun. Looks nice, got good paint detail. Sculpting is really well done on it. Again, the same gun here. Got both that light gray and dark gray paint work. I love the paint. Then we get two of the Ninja Stars here. So we get an orange and a gray Ninja Star. Really no detail to them other than just the color, and they're in the shape of a star. Okay, and then we get one of their communicators. So this one has Bebop on it. So that's a nice little detail. I may pose this guy with the communicator as I've got, you know, multiple foot soldiers now. One thing that Neca is doing is they are really helping your army build, whether you want to or not. Every time they release a 2-pack with a lot of these characters, you're getting a foot soldier. Now, one thing that they're doing that is cool and you got to commend them on is they're doing their best to make them look different in some fashion. You know, the foot soldiers are a perfect option for Neca to make money, because they can just mass produce these things, and as they sell these 2-packs, they're basically selling a foot soldier for 25 bucks. Where most of us probably would not be buying so many foot soldiers. You know, you get 2 or 3 and you're probably done. By the time, you know, 2 years from now, we're probably all going to have 8 to 10 foot soldiers because they're changing them so often. They already have another couple foot soldiers with slightly different deco. I think a few different heads. So yeah, we're gonna army build whether we want to or not. So here we got the Pizza Monster. This is a really cool addition, a very iconic and very early episode here that the Pizza Monster showed up in. These are, you definitely would think these are knockoffs of the Xenomorph from the Aliens movies. And as the Pizza Monsters ate pizza, they would grow larger and become bigger and very much more dangerous. But this was a very cool episode here for these guys. We'll throw up a slide here showing kind of what these guys look like in the cartoon. But yeah, I really like that little addition there. That's probably one of my favorite accessories because I do remember that episode so well. Now, as far as hands, we always get a lot of hands for the foot, and we get just kind of his holding hands where he would hold his communicator or his weapons. We get two just flat hands here, just palms flat, like saluting hands, like I like to call them. And then two just kind of relaxed hands. Nice detail on these. Okay. And again, we're not going to go over the foot soldier as far as articulation. We've gotten him multiple times. Let's go ahead and we'll bring in a few other figures from the line, so you can just do some size comparisons there with April O'Neil and her fellow turtle friends. All right, guys, so here we just got some random figures from the Neca line. So we see we got our Metalhead to the far right, and him and Bebop, stand around the same size, which you can see obviously dwarfs April O'Neil. And we got Donatello there right beside her. So I feel like from a scale point, Neca knocked this out of the park. April should be slightly taller. It should be skinnier as far as her body mass. And as we move down, we got our foot soldier, and you can see him compared there to our newly released Slash figure. So, overall, guys, Neca is really killing it as far as these figures. We do have a few little QC flaws that we've seen really with all of these guys in some form or fashion. Just some little things Neca just kind of needs to tighten up over time, especially with the paint and sculpt. Just the paint with the articulation. We definitely don't want to be losing our paint job as we articulate our figures. That's not fun for anybody. And sometimes after a Neca figure that I review, I'll look here on my review table and I'll have paint chips from that review. So we don't want to deal with that as collectors. So I hope if Neca is watching this from the reviewers, I hope they will pick up on that. Again, I think we all love the line. We're going to keep going with it. But no line is perfect, and I think with Neca, even as well as these are done, and they are fantastically done, and they've really brought us something that probably a lot of us never thought we would see in an adult collector market. Just a few little minor things that I think they can probably work on to resolve. You don't see a lot of that paint chipping with other companies as you articulate the figure, so I think it is something that is completely fixable for Neca. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button. That certainly helps get the video shared. We just surpassed 800 subscribers, so the channel's doing well, and I have no one to thank except for you guys for that support. And the love you guys share in the comments is greatly appreciated, and really drives me to continue trying to make these reviews and these toy hunts for you guys. So I hope you continue to enjoy the content. If you're not a subscriber, I want to invite you to consider being a subscriber to Man Cave Collectibles. We cover a little bit of everything. As you can see, just flip through the channel, you'll see it's a vast array of anything in the adult collectible world. I'm kind of into everything, which is bad for the wallet, but it's fun for me being a big kid. Definitely, I'm able to do a lot of collecting in a lot of different areas and kind of meet those childhood desires that I never have really lost. So consider subscribing. To my current subscribers, I appreciate you. Till next time, guys, stay safe.